What if I told you that a genuinely clean home isn't built in hours? It's built in seconds. Not 5-minute routines, not weekend deep cleans. Seconds. 10 seconds here, 20 seconds there. Tiny, almost invisible actions so fast you'd barely count them as cleaning at all. And yet, done consistently, they add up to something the rest of the world can't seem to achieve, no matter how hard it scrubs. A home that simply stays clean, on its own, forever. This is the quiet genius of how Japanese homes are kept. They're often smaller than Western homes, lived in by people just as busy with just as little free time. But they stay effortlessly clean. And they do it not through massive effort, but through dozens of tiny, lightning-fast habits woven so seamlessly into the day that they cost almost nothing. The secret was never cleaning harder. It was catching every mess in the few seconds before it becomes a real one. Today, I'm going to give you 30 of these hacks, every single one of which takes under 30 seconds. I've grouped them by room, so you can jump straight to wherever your home needs the most help. Most cost nothing at all. And I promise you by the end, you'll understand the one principle underneath all 30 that makes them work, and which single hack to start with tonight before we go on. A quiet note, the Japanese home was never really about the method. It's about a home that lets you rest, instead of one more thing to keep perfect. I wrote a small book on that idea, Wabi Sabi, Finding Peace in an Imperfect Life. First link below, if it calls to you. For now, let's keep going. Stay with me until number 22, because that's the one almost nobody outside Japan knows. It takes 15 seconds, and it's the reason Japanese kitchens don't smell. And number 30 is the fastest of them all. It takes 0 seconds, and it might be the most powerful on the entire list. Let's go. Before the hacks, 30 seconds of context, because it makes every single one of them land harder. Almost everything you've been taught about cleaning is built on correction. You let the mess build up, and then you correct it in one big, exhausting effort. This is why cleaning feels like such a burden. You're always waiting for the problem to fully form before you deal with it, which guarantees the problem always forms. Every hack on this list runs on the opposite idea: prevention. And here's the mechanism that makes it work. The single most important thing to understand about cleaning: mess gets exponentially harder to remove the longer it sits. A splash wiped now takes 5 seconds. The same splash, dried and hardened over a week, takes 5 minutes of scrubbing. A freshwater spot vanishes with a cloth. Left to dry and build up, it becomes line scale that needs chemicals. The 30-second hack and the 30-minute chore are frequently the exact same mess. The only difference is how long you waited. So these aren't shortcuts that do a worse job. They're interventions timed for the precise moment when the job is nearly free. That's the whole secret. Here are the 30. Keep one image in your mind as we go through them, because it explains all 30 at once. Picture a single drop of water on a bathroom mirror. Right now, in this second, it wipes away with a fingertip. Effortless, instant, gone. Leave it an hour and it dries into a faint spot. Leave it a week, alongside all the drops that followed it, and it becomes a hazy film of mineral scale that needs glass cleaner and real scrubbing to remove. Nothing about the dirt got worse in some mysterious way. It simply aged, and aging is what turns a 1-second job into a 10-minute one. Every hack below is really the same move. Intercept the mess while it's still 1 second old, before time can turn it into a chore. Do that consistently, and the core never arrives at all. The kitchen, hacks 1-8, the kitchen creates more mess faster than any room in the house, which makes it where these fast hacks save you the most. 1. Wipe the stovetop while it's still warm. 10 seconds. And it's the perfect illustration of everything this video is about. The instant you finish cooking, before the pan has even left the heat, run a cloth over the stovetop. Warm grease is soft and lifts away with a single easy pass. But leave it, and something specific happens. That same grease cools, and then tomorrow you cook over it again, and the heat polymerizes it into a hardened, baked-on layer that resists everything short of a scraper. The 10-second wipe and the 20-minute scrubbing job are the exact same grease. The only variable is time. Catch it warm every time, and your stovetop essentially cleans itself. 2. Rinse the cutting board immediately. 15 seconds. The moment you're done with it, rinse it under hot water before the food residue dries and bonds to the surface. Dried-on food becomes a scrubbing job. Fresh residue rinses straight off. The board is clean before you've even plated the meal. 3. Wipe one counter while the water boils, 20 seconds, and notice it costs you no real time at all, because you are going to stand there waiting regardless. This is the heart of the Japanese clean-as-you-cook instinct. Cooking is full of small dead moments, waiting for water to boil, for something to simmer, for the oven to preheat, and each one is a free pocket of time you can fill with a quick wipe. By the time the meal is ready, the kitchen is already almost clean. Not because you cleaned it as a separate task, but because you used the gaps that were already there. The Western kitchen sits in chaos until after the meal. The Japanese kitchen is tidied continuously, invisibly, inside the cooking itself. 4. Rinse your cup the second it's empty. 10 seconds. Don't set it on the counter for later. Later is how one cup becomes a sink full of dishes. Rinse it the instant it's empty, and it never joins the pile. This single reflex repeated is the difference between a clear sink and a crowded one. 5. Squeeze the dish sponge dry after every use. 5 seconds. A wet sponge left slumped in the sink is one of the least clean objects in your entire home. The constant moisture, warmth, and food residue make it a genuine breeding ground for bacteria, and it's the source of that distinctive sour sponge smell. Worse, you're then using that sponge to clean your dishes, squeeze it out completely after every use, and stand it upright where air can reach it. Denied the moisture bacteria need, it stays far cleaner, and so does everything you wash with it. 5 seconds, and it's the same principle as the dry sink. Remove the water, remove the problem. 6. Wipe the inside of the microwave after a splatter. 15 seconds. The moment something splatters, wipe it while it's still warm and soft. Left alone, microwave splatter bakes onto the walls with every future use until it needs real scrubbing. Caught fresh? It's a single, easy wipe. 7. Wipe down one cabinet handle or the fridge door. 10 seconds. These are the most touched, most overlooked surfaces in the kitchen, quietly collecting grease and grime from constant hands. A quick daily wipe of one of them keeps the kitchen's touch points clean, without you ever scheduling it. 8. Clear the sink drain catch. 15 seconds. Empty the little basket or strainer in your sink drain right after washing up. Well, it's a 5-second task, rather than leaving food to rot in it. This keeps the drain clear and, crucially, kills one of the main sources of kitchen odor before it starts. That's the kitchen handled in seconds at a time. Now to the room where 30 seconds of prevention saves you the most money, because the bathroom is where small neglect turns into the most expensive problems in the whole house. The bathroom, Hacks 915. The bathroom is where a few seconds of daily attention prevents mold, limescale, and staining, the 3 problems that cost the most in money and misery to fix once they've set in. Every hack here is a tiny insurance payment against a large future bill. 9. Squeegee the shower glass after your shower. 20 seconds, and it may be the highest value habit on this entire list. Here's the thing almost nobody understands about soap scum. It isn't dirt you failed to scrub off. It's mineral deposit, the solids left behind when hard water evaporates and dries on the glass. That means it's entirely preventable. Remove the water before it can dry. With a cheap squeegee and the deposit simply never forms. People spend hours with harsh chemicals fighting scum that a 20-second daily squeegee would have prevented entirely. Do this consistently, and you may genuinely never have to deep clean your shower glass again. One of the most hated cleaning jobs there is, gone, for 20 seconds a day. 10. Wipe the bathroom sink after brushing your teeth. 10 seconds. While the toothpaste flecks and water splashes are still wet, one pass with a cloth removes them completely. Let them dry day after day, and you get the crusted buildup that eventually needs chemicals and scrubbing. 11. Wipe the faucet dry. 10 seconds. After using the sink, run a cloth over the faucet to dry it. Here's the mechanism, and it's the same one behind the shower glass. Hard water contains dissolved minerals, and when a droplet evaporates on metal, it leaves those minerals behind as a spot, then a film, then scale. Wipe the water away before it can dry, and there's nothing left to deposit. The faucet stays gleaming permanently, and you never once have to polish it or fight limescale, because the limescale never gets to form. 12. Do a 30-second toilet swipe. 30 seconds. Most people clean the toilet only when it looks dirty, which means it's already well past clean and now needs a real, unpleasant, chemical-heavy scrubbing session. Japan flips this. A quick daily wipe around the bowl and seat, 30 seconds, before grime ever builds. The logic is the same. One running through this whole video, removing a tiny amount of dirt daily is vastly easier than removing a large amount monthly. The toilet never reaches the dreaded stage. It just stays clean, permanently, for seconds a day. And you're spared not just the scrubbing, but the low-level guilt of a bathroom you've been avoiding. 13. Hang the bath mat to dry after every use. 10 seconds. A bath mat left flat on the floor stays trapped against a cold surface with nowhere for the moisture to escape. And that lingering dampness is exactly what breeds mildew, that musty bathroom smell, and eventually staining on both the mat and the floor beneath it. Hang it over the tub edge or a towel rail after every use. Expose it to air, and it dries completely, staying fresh far longer between washes. 10 seconds that spares you a smell you'd otherwise never quite be able to locate. 14. Wipe the mirror the moment it's splashed. 10 seconds. Toothpaste specks and water spots on a mirror wipe away instantly when fresh. Dried on, they need glass cleaner and effort. Catch them in the moment and the mirror stays clear. 15. Leave the bathroom door open after showering. 5 seconds? Barely a hack, but one of the most important. Mold is nothing more than the predictable result of warm, damp air trapped with nowhere to go. Open the door, run the fan, crack a window. Give the moisture an exit, and mold simply can't establish itself. 5 seconds prevents a problem that costs real money to fix. Living areas, hacks 1621. Living rooms don't get dirty so much as they get cluttered, and they do it one small object at a time, so slowly you never notice it happening, until the whole room feels chaotic. The fix isn't a big tidy-up, it's a series of 10-second resets, done in passing, that return the room to order before disorder can ever build. Here's how Japanese homes keep living spaces calm, without ever cleaning them. 16. Return one item to its home as you leave a room. 10 seconds. And it's one of the most quietly powerful habits here. The rule: never leave a room empty-handed if something in it belongs elsewhere. Spot it, grab it on your way out, drop it where it lives. Here's why it works so well. Clutter forms because out-of-place objects accumulate faster than we deal with them. The average home gathers dozens of them a day, each one a tiny future task. This habit clears them continuously, in the moment, using trips you were already making, so the pile that would have needed a big tidy-up never gets the chance to form. 17. Fold the throw blanket before you leave the couch. 15 seconds, and it's a genuine example of how a tiny action changes the perception of a whole room. A neatly folded blanket draped over the sofa arm instantly reads as, "This space is cared for and intentional." A blanket left crumpled in a heap reads as, "This room just survived a long day." It's the same room and the same blanket. The only difference is 15 seconds of folding. This is worth understanding generally. A room's sense of order comes from a handful of high-visibility cues: the blanket, the cushions, the clear surfaces, and fixing just those, fast, makes the entire space feel clean even when little else has been touched. 18. Fluff and straighten the cushions. 15 seconds. As you get up, quickly straighten the sofa cushions. It's the single fastest way to make a living room look reset, and it costs almost nothing. A room with straight cushions reads as clean even when little else has been done. 19. Wipe one surface as you pass it. 10 seconds. Keep a cloth handy and, whenever you pass a coffee table or side table with a mark or a ring on it, wipe it. 10 seconds in passing, and dust and water rings never get the chance to accumulate. 20. Corral the remotes and clutter into one spot. 15 seconds. Scattered small objects, remotes, chargers, cups, are what make a room feel chaotic. Give them one designated tray or spot and gather them there in a single 15-second sweep. Instant order. 21. Straighten your shoes at the door. 10 seconds. Turn your shoes to face the door as you take them off. Lined up neatly, it keeps the entryway the first thing you and every guest see, looking orderly, and it means you step straight into them tomorrow. A tiny courtesy to your future self, done in every Japanese entryway without a thought. Now, before the final stretch, these last 9 are different. The first 21 are specific techniques for specific rooms. These 9 are the ones that, more than any others, are the actual reason Japanese homes stay effortlessly clean. If you took nothing else from this video, these alone would transform your home. The fast hacks that change everything. Hacks 2230. 22. Dry the sink after the last dish. And here's why. 15 seconds. the one I promised you. After washing up, don't just rinse the sink. Dry it completely, basin and rim, with a cloth. Here's the mechanism. The sour, indefinable smell that develops in a kitchen is produced by bacteria, and bacteria need one thing above all to multiply: moisture. A wet sink overnight is a warm, damp basin holding food traces every single night for years. Dry it and you don't clean away the smell. You remove the condition the smell requires. You wake to a kitchen that smells like nothing at all. 15 seconds, and it's the deepest lesson in this whole video. Japanese homes don't clean problems, they prevent the conditions that create them. 23. Wipe a splash the instant it happens. 5 seconds, the purest expression of the entire philosophy, and the habit that, once it becomes automatic, changes everything. Any spill, splash, or drip anywhere in the home, wiped the second it lands. Here's why it matters so much. A liquid splash is at its absolute easiest to remove in the first few seconds, while it's still sitting on the surface. Every second after that, it spreads, seeps, dries, and if it's something like sauce, coffee, or hard water, begins to stain or deposit. The 5-second wipe and the future scrubbing job are, once again, the same mess at different ages. Train yourself to catch splashes the instant they happen, and an enormous share of all household cleaning simply disappears. 24. Do a 10-second entryway reset. 10 seconds. As you come in, take 10 seconds to line up the shoes and clear anything off the entryway floor. The entryway sets the tone for the whole home. Walk into order and you feel calm. Walk into chaos and you carry it inside. 10 seconds decides which. 25. Wipe the light switches and door handles. 15 seconds. Think about which surfaces in your home get touched most often. Light switches, door handles, cabinet pulls, the fridge door. Now consider how rarely anyone actually cleans them. They're the perfect storm. Maximum contact, minimum attention, quietly accumulating the oils and grime of every hand that's passed through the house. Wipe just 1 or 2 of them a day and you keep the home's real touch points genuinely clean. The surfaces that matter most for hygiene and that a standard tidy up almost always ignores. 26. Shake out the entry mat. 15 seconds. Your doormat is doing more work than any other object in your home, catching an astonishing amount of the dirt, grit, and debris that would otherwise be tracked across every floor in the house. But a saturated mat can't catch anymore. It just sits there full. Shake it out regularly and it keeps doing its job, stopping dirt at the threshold before it ever enters. This is prevention at the very first line of defense. The less that gets in, the less there is to clean everywhere else, forever. 27. Wipe the table immediately after eating. 20 seconds. The second the meal is done and cleared, wipe the table while any crumbs and spills are fresh. Dried food and sauce bond to the surface within the hour. Caught immediately, one pass clears it, and you're left with a clean table instead of one you dread returning to. 28. Put it away, don't put it down. 10 seconds. And if you internalize only one clutter habit, make it this one. When you finish with something, return it to its home immediately instead of setting it down for now. Here's the psychology underneath it. Clutter almost never forms from a single decision. It forms from thousands of tiny deferrals. The cup set on the counter, the scissors left on the table, the jacket over the chair, each one a small "I'll deal with it later." And later, all those deferrals arrive at once as the overwhelming mess you blame yourself for. Put it away, don't put it down, kills the deferral at the source. 10 seconds in the moment, instead of an hour of it all at once on the weekend. Do this reflexively, and clutter genuinely stops forming. 29. Empty the trash before it's overflowing. 20 seconds. Don't wait for the bin to be crammed full and starting to smell. Take it out while it's a quick, clean 20-second task. An overfull bin is where odor and mess begin. Staying ahead of it keeps the whole kitchen fresher. 30. Wipe as you wait. The 0-second hack. The fastest of all, because it costs no extra time whatsoever. Whenever you're waiting for the kettle, the microwave, the coffee, water to boil, you are standing there doing nothing. Fill those seconds with a wipe. The counter, the stovetop, the sink. This is the true secret of the Japanese home. Cleaning isn't a separate activity you schedule. It's woven invisibly into the dead moments already scattered through your day. You're not adding time to your life. You're using the seconds you were already wasting. And that's why it never feels like effort at all. What all 30 have in common? Look back at the whole list and notice the single thread running through every one. Not one of these hacks is about cleaning harder. Every single one is about speed and timing, catching a mess in the few seconds when it's still nearly free to remove, before it hardens into the 30-minute chore it's destined to become. The stovetop wiped warm, the splash caught fresh, the sink dried before the bacteria can grow. Each one intervenes at the exact moment when the job costs almost nothing. And by doing that, 30 times a day, in seconds at a time, the big mess never assembles itself, and the deep clean never becomes necessary. That's the real Japanese secret, and it's almost the opposite of what cleaning trains us to expect. You will never save time by cleaning harder. You save time by cleaning faster and earlier, in the seconds before a mess becomes one. A Japanese home isn't clean because someone spends hours on it. It's clean because nothing was ever allowed to become the kind of mess that would need hours. And here's what matters most. Do not try to do all 30. That's the trap, the overwhelming all-at-once effort that collapses within days. Pick one, just one. I'd suggest number 20 to dry your sink tonight, 15 seconds. And tomorrow morning, notice what it feels like to walk into a kitchen that smells like nothing at all. That single small win is what makes the next one easy. Then add another. Slowly, these tiny, fast habits weave themselves into your day until your home simply stays clean on its own. And you can't quite remember when cleaning stopped being a chore. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 30 are you starting with tonight? Drop the number in the comments, just the number, because saying it out loud is the first real step toward actually doing it. And if any of these are going to save you time, share this with one person who's still losing their whole weekend to a home that never stays clean. I'll see you in the next one.